What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. You see the title. You know, you say one thing that I don't like. Off with your head, right? Um, and this goes from all the things I've been watching over the last, few weeks. If somebody has an opinion that's similar to yours and it's coming from a group that you didn't think it was going to come from, you gravitate to it. I'm glad you agree with my points. Cool. I'm glad you agree with the way we see things. Cool. But if that person says one thing that you don't like, off with the head. And the one thing about that is the assumption that somebody's got to agree with everything you say. Or not everything is too much. It's saying too much. The every, Somebody does not have to agree with all of the points that you make that are actually true. They might see a few of those differently. And that might cause a rift. But here's the thing. You can agree to disagree. And instead of agreeing to disagree and keeping an ally, sometimes you just chop people's head off, which is not a good idea. And I'm not saying this as just a male to women. It's a women to men thing. Because what winds up happening is people can't be objective. And when you can't be objective, you start to become extreme. And what I see is more people, instead of coming together, beginning to become more extreme. Because they're 10 toes down in an ideology that might not really suit them, but it suits their feelings. So if somebody says something to you that you don't like and it's over, that's your problem. If somebody says something that you don't like in a tone that you don't like, that's your problem. If somebody says something to you that you don't like because you're not ready to hear something that you already know to be true, that's your problem. That's not theirs. There's no reason for you to respond like I'm going to cut your head off. I can't deal with it. Doesn't make sense. But it does make you look very delusional because you're willing to ride with a point that basically is going to be your own destruction. Pride comes before the fall. And sometimes I come across hearing too much pride. Right, too much pride, wrong, too much pride. Now, when you're right and you got too much pride, you're still right. But when you're wrong and you got too much pride, you're wrong. So it's getting quite crazy. And some people like that when they're somebody makes 100 videos you like, and 101 they make one you don't. Now you like, I'm done with you. And you creep back over there a few months later, I'm going to keep that one in my memory for the time that they tick me off. And some of us are too sensitive, too sensitive. And the reason why I'm saying this is because people are going to say things in this content that you're not going to like and you're not going to agree with. But coming from their perspective, it may be true. Now, the question is their perspective coming from a real place or a fake place? And once you decipher this is a real one and this is a fake one, you give it as much energy as you will at that particular point. But this idea that somebody says something that comes from a real place and you want to chop their head off is asinine. Now, when somebody says something that comes from a fake place and you want to chop their head off, it makes sense. So I just wanted to put it out here like Switzerland type, like trying to be objective. So we out. Peace, y'all.